In this video, I'm going to show you how to dilate or dilation. Now before we begin, what exactly is dilation? Dilation in essence is enlarge or reduce. When you have a shape, you're either making the shape larger, enlarge, or smaller, reduce. Now about dilation, there are three important things that you have to know. First, about where. Now this you can tell by looking at the center, and you will see in an example. The second thing is enlarge or reduce. Even before we do the dilation, you can actually tell if the shape will get bigger or smaller by looking at a scale factor. If a scale factor is greater than 1, well, it's greater, so the shape will get bigger. If a scale factor is less than 1, well, it's less, so the shape will become smaller. If a scale factor is exactly 1, well, it stays the same, nothing changes. Now third thing is how much. Well, if you know if it's gonna get bigger or smaller, but how much is it gonna get bigger? How much is it gonna get smaller? And that we can also look at the scale factor. We multiply the scale factor, and that will tell us exactly how much it becomes larger or smaller. So I have two examples here. One is with a scale factor that's greater than 1, and second one is scale factor that is less than 1. So let's take a look. In this first example, the question is dilate at center P, scale factor 2. So we have to notice that center is at P and the scale factor is 2. Now scale factor is 2 means what? It is greater than 1, so the shape will become bigger, right? Bigger. So if you are dilating it and then your new image is actually smaller than this original picture, that means you're doing something wrong, right? So we know it's gonna get bigger. Now to do the dilation, let's actually draw some guiding lines to help us out. We have a center at P, and we're going to draw guiding lines to each of the vertices of a shape. So from here P, I'm gonna connect a line segment. I'm gonna connect over here, and connect right there. So we drew the line segment connecting center and each vertices. I'm actually going to extend the segment outward. So from here P, I'm gonna get past here, and I'm gonna go further out drawing a straight line. I'm gonna go further out drawing a straight line. I'm gonna go further out drawing a straight line. I'm gonna go further out drawing a straight line. Okay, now we have this shape with extended guiding lines. Now how do I know that I'm drawing a straight line without a ruler? Well, by repeating a pattern. From center to this vertex right here, I went 2 to the right and 1 up. So if it's a straight line, it has to repeat that pattern. 2 to the right, 1 up. 2 to the right, 1 up. So it's a straight line. Same thing here. That's from P, 2 to the left and 1 up to this vertex. So I can repeat the pattern. 2 to the left, 1 up. 2 to the left, 1 up. And I know that's a straight line. So I did that for every single one of them and drew this guiding line. Now we use a center. We drew the guiding line. Now we just need to dilate. Scale factor is 2. And on number 3 up here, if you see it, how much, you multiply the scale factor, right? So we are multiplying by 2, like every single one of them. So let's look at this vertex first. From center to this vertex, I go 2 to the right, 1 up. So I'm gonna say 2 right, 1 up, right? Well, if I multiply these two numbers by 2, each of them by 2, instead of 2 to the right, 2 times 2 is 4, so I know I need to go 4 to the right, all the way over here. I'm actually going to use different color. So 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right. And instead of 1 up, we multiply that by 2, so 1 times 2 is 2, so I go 2 up, and that is my new point. We do the same thing here. That's a 2 to the left, 1 up. So we multiply each of them by 2. Instead of 2 to the left, I go 4 to the left. Instead of 1 up, I go 2 up. And that's my new point. And same thing, 2 left, 1 down. So multiply by 2, I go 4 left, 2 down. And this one's a little different, right? That's a 2 right, 2 down. So if we multiply by 2, that is 4 down. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 down, and 4 right, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is my new point. Once you find all the vertices of a shape, you just need to connect them. And we have this dilated image with a scale factor 2 at center P. Okay. Now let me show you one more example with scale factor that's less than 1. And this time I have a center outside of a shape. Now, the question is dilate at center O, scale factor 1/2, right? 1/2. Now we already know then, because scale factor is less than 1, it's gonna get smaller, right? So after you dilate, if it's something that's bigger than this triangle, then something's not right, right? Okay, this time we have a center outside of a shape. So we have to again connect all 3 vertices of a shape to the center. So I'm gonna connect, and I'm gonna connect it over here, and I'm going to connect in straight line fashion right there. I'm actually gonna extend the line a little bit, that way, and that way. So I extended the line. Okay. Now again, we have to multiply by the scale factor. So we'll multiply by 1/2, right? 1/2. So let's count from this center to this vertex. I go 2 up, right? 2 up. So if I multiply everything by 1/2, or that is divided by 2, right? 2 divided by 2, or 2 times 1/2 is actually just 1. So that is where I mark it, 1. What about this one? This point right here. From O to this vertex, that's a 4 to the right, 2 up, right? So half of each one is what? Half of 4 is 2 to the right. Half of 2 is 1 up, right? So instead of 4 to the right and 2 up, we go 2 to the right, 1 up from the center. Lastly, this vertex. Now this is a little far, so actually count it carefully. So from O to this vertex, I go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right. 4 to the right, I'm gonna put it in green. 4 to the right. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. 5 up. So 4 to the right and 5 up. If I multiply 4 times 1/2, which is 4 divided by 2, half of 4, that is only 2 to the right, right? So I go 2 to the right. That's where I stay. Now how much do I go up? Originally I went up 5, right? So 5 times 1/2, or 5 divided by 2, is 2.5. So I'm going only 2 squares and half. And that lands on our guiding line, right? There we go. We can kind of eyeball it too, right? Half of 5 is right here in the middle, 2.5. So now I just need to connect all those points. So I'm going to connect here. I'm going to connect there. I'm going to connect there. Let me color it. That is my new dilated image after multiplying with a scale factor 1/2 at center O. So really, you need to remember that you are connecting the center, wherever the center is, maybe inside, maybe on a shape, or maybe outside, wherever the center is, connect by using guiding line between center and each vertices of a shape. Then look at the scale factor to determine if it's going to get larger or smaller. Then multiply the scale factor after you count the distance, like how many to the right and up, how many to the left and down. You count them and then multiply by the scale factor, and just go that much. One thing to notice is that if you draw the guiding line, your new points will always stay on the line. So make sure you draw the straight line so you don't get you mark your points off. Okay, and that's it. That is how you do the dilation.